Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Here, we bring you the latest news and insights from the world of business and finance, breaking it down so you can stay ahead of the curve. If that sounds like your kind of content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue delivering high-quality updates every day. Now, let's dive into today's big story. In a major ruling with far-reaching implications, a federal judge in Oregon has blocked what would have been the largest supermarket merger in U.S. history, a $25 billion deal between Kroger and Albertsons. Yes, you heard that right. This merger, first announced in 2022, aimed to combine two retail giants, Kroger, the fifth largest retailer in the U.S., and Albertsons, the 10th largest. Together, these companies own iconic grocery chains like Safeway, Vons, Harris Teeter, and Fred Meyer. But Judge Adrian Nelson shut it down, ruling that the merger would stifle competition and harm consumers. Let's break this down. Why was this deal so controversial? Kroger and Albertsons argued that the merger was necessary to compete with retail behemoths like Walmart and Amazon, who have been dominating the grocery space. Both companies, which employ largely unionized workforces, said they needed to pool resources to stand up to non-unionized competitors like Costco and the rapidly expanding Aldi. Kroger CEO Rodney McMullen even pledged to lower grocery prices by $1 billion post-merger. Sounds good in theory, right? But Judge Nelson wasn't convinced. She pointed out that supermarkets are a distinct market, separate from retailers like Walmart and Amazon, which offer a much broader range of goods. The merger, she argued, would eliminate the direct competition between Kroger and Albertsons, leaving consumers to bear the brunt of higher prices. And speaking of prices, let's talk about inflation. The timing of this proposal couldn't have been worse. It came at a time when grocery prices were already skyrocketing. Consumers, unions, and even a bipartisan coalition in Congress, including Senator Elizabeth Warren and Senator Mike Lee, voiced strong opposition. They argued that the merger would further drive up costs for everyday Americans and hurt grocery workers' wages and benefits. The Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, also stepped in earlier this year, suing to block the merger. They made it clear, this deal would lead to higher prices for millions of shoppers and worse conditions for hundreds of thousands of workers. To address these concerns, Kroger and Albertsons promised to sell off 579 stores to C&S wholesale grocers. But the FTC wasn't buying it, literally or figuratively. They said C&S was ill-equipped to manage these stores, predicting that it could lead to a non-functioning disaster. Judge Nelson agreed, stating that the divestiture wasn't sufficient to create meaningful competition. So what does this mean for the grocery industry moving forward? This case was closely watched, not just because of the size of the deal but also for its implications for antitrust enforcement. Under FTC Chair Lina Khan, there's been a push to tackle major mergers and monopolistic behavior, not just in grocery but across industries, including big tech. Independent grocery stores, which have been struggling for decades, saw this ruling as a victory. They've argued that mergers like these give large chains too much leverage with suppliers, leaving smaller players unable to compete. To give you some context, the grocery industry has been consolidating rapidly. Back in 1990, the top 20 retailers controlled just 30% of total food sales. By 2019, that figure had more than doubled to 64%. Traditional supermarkets, meanwhile, have seen their share of grocery spending plummet, from 80% in 1990 to just 62% in 2012. So while Kroger and Albertsons may have seen this merger as a way to fend off competition, critics argued it would only make things harder for consumers and small businesses. As Food and Water Watch senior food policy analyst Rebecca Wolf put it, persistently high food prices are hitting Americans hard, and a Kroger-Albertsons mega merger would have only made it worse. And there you have it. A major win for antitrust advocates, and a significant roadblock for two of the biggest names in retail. But what's next? Will Kroger and Albertsons appeal? Or is this deal officially dead in the water? We'll keep you updated as this story unfolds. If you found this breakdown helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who loves staying in the loop on business news, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.